Yes, all of us can agree that food is our source of energy, but it can also be about pleasure or just having fun with our family and friends. In fact, even the most devoted sportsmen sometimes eat something that isn't on their meal plan. After all, they're humans too, right? And for athletes, diets are all about getting rid of uncertainty. So in today's video, let's talk about why nutrition is NHL players' secret weapon. First off, let's talk about food being the ultimate fuel for an athlete. Players spend hours looking at videos of their opponents to find weaknesses they can use to their advantage and tackle the other player. Now, if the same kind of attention is paid to the players, like their health and nutrition, they wouldn't need to find their opponent's weak points when they themselves would be stronger than ever. So, opening the door to personalized eating is a natural step for athletes who want to get better every day by the so-called 1%. Kale Makar also believes that if you do the right thing, it's inevitable that you'll get the results you desire. So it's very important to know what you put in your body and how it makes you feel. Having planned out everything and making sure that there aren't any surprises when it comes to meals, there's no way one can really make a mistake with that. Up next, New Jersey Devils forward has the perfect remedy for cramps. When Blake Coleman is too exhausted or has cramps late in a hockey game, he rarely finds himself in a pickle. Coleman's teammates call him Pickles, and he's the only New Jersey player who opens the pickle jar and drinks the brine at least once during every game to give his muscles energy. He has had more time on the ice this season as the Devils' fourth-line center because Travis Zajac and Brian Boyle have been out with injuries. In 5 games, he's played an average of 1358 minutes, including 219 while shorthanded. Last season, he averaged 1250 minutes per game, including 102 minutes while shorthanded. The player's pickle jar was brought to him by teammate Brian Gibbons, 7:04 into the third period of the Devils' 4-1 win over the Colorado Avalanche on October 7th. The fact that this was caught on camera made it all the more hilarious. Kevin C. Miller ran a study in 2013 at North Dakota State University's Department of Health, Nutrition, and Exercise Sciences. He found that drinking pickle juice relieves muscle cramps within 35 seconds, and that the cramps last about 49 seconds less when people drink pickle juice instead of water. We get why Coleman dutifully buys pickles on his own before every game. Moving on to James Van Riemsdyk's focus towards dietary supplements. The Philadelphia Flyers winger is in the second half of his career, which means he isn't as young as he once was. So even though Van Riemsdyk gets great care from the Philadelphia staff, he started looking into how to improve his health in every way and making sure he's got more good years on the ice. He stays committed to a nutrition plan that includes different supplements to improve his health and speed up recovery. The player learned at Prentice, among other things, that high-performance athletes usually eat a lot of protein. The facility also brought up a trend that is popular right now, cutting out sugar. Adding healthier proteins and more organic grass-fed foods are just some of the things that could be done. The important thing to know is that he's been doing this for a very long time. He believes that a consistent approach will lead to a consistent performance, and this has helped him keep up a point streak of 10 games. Now for Kale's Kale obsession. Makar made a big splash when he joined Colorado Avalanche for 10 Stanley Cup playoff games in 2018-19. In his first game, the most memorable part was when someone held up a bunch of kale to honor the young star. Turns out Makar's diet isn't too far off the kale diet. He doesn't seem to like junk food at all. If one of the young stars of AVS lives a healthy life off the ice, it's likely that he'll also be healthier on the ice. Amanda Guyurin, his nutritionist, vacuum seals pre-game meals and snacks and puts them in the team's cooler when they're traveling. Sometimes pre-game drinks with beet juice and pomegranate juice really help to increase nitric oxide and blood flow, which in turn boosts the player's energy. Then, based on their lab tests, she adds specific ingredients like B12 or mushrooms that can help with energy and endurance. Makar had never heard of these performance boosters until recently. He said that he was a picky eater for much of his childhood, and that during his first year at the University of Massachusetts in 2017-18, he tried out all the different dining hall options. He joined the NFL 2 years later, and when he got there, he noticed that some players were more careful about what they put in their bodies. In the locker room, he learned how eating right could help him do better in his game, and from then onwards, he's only stuck to what was put in his lunchbox. Not to mention, the Toronto Maple Leafs food guru. About half of the 32 NHL teams have dietitians and nutritionists who work with players every day to help them reach their health goals, either alone or with the help of another trusted professional. The Leafs' lead performance dietitian, Margaret Hughes, has made it her job to keep players from getting bored with their food by giving them a constantly changing list of things to eat after a workout. Hughes does a lot of different things for the Leafs, like making menus for the team plane, hotels where the team stays while on the road, and visiting arenas. Toronto has 2 kitchen staff, one at their home rink and one at their practice rink. She makes different plans with them, and her ideas for food are brought to life by Chef Jamar Wright, who shares her desire to keep things interesting for the players. That means putting a lot of thought into meals that fit the culture of the players and introducing them to foods they might not have tried before. Wright said that he recently added okra to the Leafs lunch menu. Okra is a less common vegetable, so he hoped that the guys would like it and maybe eat it often. It's a long way from the traditional white carb with protein options, which the nutritionist admits are still a go-to for some players. But teams are aware that players want more nutritious options and have worked hard to make them available. Now, let's talk about some very strict NHL diets. Hold up, did you know that Zdeno Chara eats mostly vegan food? The Bruins captain, who is 6'9" and 250 pounds, has given up beef, chicken, pork, and dairy. He only eats fish and eggs sometimes, and his diet is mainly based on rice, oats, fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. The defenseman loves his new plant-based diet and says he feels stronger than he did before. You've probably heard about Tom Brady's anti-inflammatory diet, which is very strict, and he gives it a lot of credit for his success and longevity. The Winnipeg Jets center has bought into Brady's anti-inflammatory philosophy. He mentioned that he stopped eating gluten, dairy, and eggs since taking a food sensitivity test to find out which foods make him feel bad. But the craziest one yet is Wayne Gretzky, the hot dog hero. Gretzky is the greatest hockey player ever, and his story about what he ate before a game is one of the best we've ever heard. It's well known that before every game, Wayne would eat 4 hot dogs with mustard and onions on top. What was even funkier about his diet was that instead of drinking water or electrolytes like other players, he would drink a Diet Coke, a glass of ice water, and a Gatorade. And only in that order. Finally, let's look at some top nutrition advice from NHL players. NHL athletes have an excellent diet strategy, and it includes some of the most basic and easiest to do meal plans. Pick healthy treats, as many vegetables as you can, please. Choose the ones you like and eat them when you have a chance, particularly carrots and broccoli, which you should eat raw. Those are good for you for sure. Keep hydrated. If you want to stay alert and full of energy, drink a lot of water. Even better, have a glass of water first thing in the morning. You should always keep drinking water, even when you're playing. Some players said they like to add coconut water to the drink on game day to make it more fun and interesting. Add some color to your plate. That's the most important thing, since it also includes not eating too much of any one thing. Players usually prefer home-cooked meals since they know what is put in their food. That way, you can stick to fruits, vegetables, and proteins. But of course, even the players think it's okay to have fast food once in a while. That's a wrap for this video. What did you think about all these nutritious meal plans and dietary supplements consumed by our favorite NHL players? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.